That's the stream deck.
Quit playing.
And I'm vlogging it too. Gas showed up. What's happening?
Yeah.
Someone doesn't sound too
Yes.
sure about that.
He's so mad.
He's about to drive a Ferrari F430.
What up, though? What up? What up? What up? What up?
What up? What up?
Oh, you got the mic in your face today, huh?
Hey, kiss my ass. Welcome back to the Any and Everything podcast. I am your host, Ralph, joined with my squad, Monzo, Mark. What it do? What the business is, man? You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it moving. I'm gonna keep it moving quick, man, because I want to get into a lot of shit today, right? So first thing we're gonna go with what we do this week. You know, anybody want to go first?
I start. I did about I start. Didn't hit the gym as much as I wanted to. I did a lot of hours this week. Probably did close to 60 hours. Kind of tired. I'm not gonna hold you. Got our first dub yesterday in Warzone 2.0. You know what I'm saying, squad. And that's all I got for you, really.
I feel you on that. I mean, mine was real simple too, bro. I did a lot of work. Kept it moving, pushed through the week. Happy to see the weekend, but of course, like always, the weekend just comes and goes. So here we are. We're here. It's a Sunday. Pulling up on Christmas real soon. Pockets getting ready to get extra thin because of all the Christmas shopping. But other than that, you know, that's pretty much it, man. Marcos, what about you, buddy?
I chilled, man. I got funny. I did a lot of hours. That's all I do now is work. I ain't gonna lie, work. And then I got a little cough coming in, so that happened Friday. So that put me out of commission for the whole weekend. But I'm feeling a lot better than I did before. So
yeah, what's happening?
Getting that done or whatnot. But I feel good. Ready to get the next week started.
That's what's up. Money Mo, how about you, big dog?
Mo.
I was eating.
I know, dog. I was trying to catch you once you got done chewing and shit, but you over there snatching.
Man, we haven't eaten since breakfast. This week was straight. I stayed at home. I beat Gotham Knights, so I'm looking forward to Final Fantasy coming out. I think next week. Yeah, next week. Yeah. So y'all won't see me. I'm done. I don't like y'all. I'm done with y'all. When come out.
That's Mo's one and done, man. Once the time hits, bro, it's OVA for you. You know what I'm saying? Mo act like you don't know nobody when Final Fantasy come out.
Till I beat it
that way. If it ain't that, it's Halo, one or the other.
Yep, till I beat it. So, but other than that, yeah, work has been cool. I'm actually coming down with something funny. You said that, Mark, because I got whatever this is right here. Right here sucks. All this, you know. So hopefully, I don't develop another ear infection out of it. Hey, boo. Steven, how you doing, sir?
Sinus boy right there.
Yeah,
like sinus right
suck,
there,
man.
You see it, Alex?
Sinuses, boy. If anything, that'll most definitely put you down because, like you said, it don't give you a lot of a choice, but you're right.
What up, Mel, Vizzle, Steve, Alex? What's going on, y'all?
All right, and of course, one of our famous next questions is, what are we drinking on now? With Moan being sick and Mark not feeling good, but never mind. Looks like he's still up to par. He looks like he's still gonna be drinking, so he gonna let me stop him. Hey, listen. Sometimes it's the best way to get rid of it, right? Sometimes the best way to get rid of it,
especially when you're hitting that hot toddy up.
Yeah. And I mean, low key, I think this one kept me from being sick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've been drinking hot toddies just like regular drinks, so I've been all right.
Mark is a hot toddy. That's what that is.
Oh,
Whoa.
pause.
Alright,
All right,
so
so
Move the screen over to this. There you go. All right.
let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes and things. You know what I'm saying? We are talking about traveling, not just traveling by yourself, but traveling with friends.
Okay.
And of course, by the end of this, you'll understand one of the reasons why we're talking about it. But just to fire some things off, I recently was able to pull off a trip with the guys you see here on this screen. Our first, one of our first real guys trip that we put together, we planned and did everything for, man, which is not something I can say I'm not the best at when it comes to planning trips, but it is something that we did. So I wanted to get into that because there's a lot of people, after our trip was like, hey man, how did it go? You know what I'm saying? Um, y'all seem like y'all had fun. What did y'all do? And I guess our story isn't as elaborate as we thought it was going to be, mostly because all of us, fathers, dads got jobs, husbands, and shit like that. So it was more of just a sigh of relief than just a regular let's go have some fun trip. It should have been that, but I think we was just happy to be away. That we ain't really do shit. We didn't
And
really
that's
get
the
into
I
fun
that
mean,
part,
shit.
though.
we did
Like
a lot of
real
Yeah,
shit,
working.
that's the fun part. We literally had a chance to just decompress, man. And like one of the things that we all need, men and women, is we need to decompress. And I think that whole trip, that's all we did. Talk shit, get fucked up, eat some good food, and decompress when we did
that's it,
eat, because we,
man.
we barely ate. But you know what I'm saying? But it was a good time, dog. Like, and yeah, we didn't go out, we didn't go party, we gonna go do the whole thing, but decompressing, man, felt good to just relax, talk some shit to y'all in person, because it was even way worse in person than it is on these
Way worse
goddamn
in person,
streams.
bro.
I'm trying to
Way
tell
worse
you.
in person. So, it like you said, it was a good trip, man. It was a good chance for us all to get away, man. And that's gonna lead into our next segment because we all got away, we all made the trip, but we had made multiple plans for multiple places, right?
Mhm,
This was choice number 4, if
mhm.
I'm not mistaken. We was talking about hitting some islands. We was talking about going here. We were talking about hitting Vegas, and then people were like, y'all didn't hit none of those places up, and it all came down to this, right? It all came down to commitment, and it's not that none of us was not committed to go. We was all ready to go. We was ready to go when we said the word trip. Just like right now, we talking about planning the next one, right?
And I'm ready to
We
go
are
right
ready
now.
to go. We ready. I'm ready to go right now, this very
Ready
second.
to go right now.
But a lot of it goes into that commitment, man. We gotta, be committed to a time, be committed to paying the price, and then we gotta be committed to a date on when we're gonna pay and set everything up. And I feel like that's one of the things that stops big trips from happening. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say they want to go on these trips and they're like, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. But when it comes time to pay, it's like, all right, well, give me a minute. Let me go ahead and
Hey, what's happening?
what up though, Dre? Let me go ahead and save up some bread so we can go. And then, bro, we constantly had shit hit the fan before we went. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was just a date thing or financially.
Mhm.
So, please, add in on this, man. What really makes and break a friend trip?
Shit, life.
That's facts.
I mean,
Facts. Let me
some
tell
of the
you, it
best
wasn't even
service
about
is
us
just
not having the
commitment.
money. It was like we had the funds. We had. It's funny. We had everything. It was just the places we was going to was either like bottomless, where it was like, what's going on? Why is there so many people? And why is it a wait? And we would find ourselves just waiting. And then sometimes it'll be like it looked good, and then once you got there, you like, shit, I'm about to get shot. But
Facts.
it's life. It was just life sometimes that would happen. Like, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I'm out here in Georgia. So for me to see them out here, to me, that was my vacation. I was just happy to see them here. So sometimes you could be more happy seeing certain people. It's more like a breath of fresh air to see, especially your circle. You could be in a
Facts.
physical place with your circle because a lot of us grow up and we part ways and go wherever we got to go. So and we still communicate with each other. Some people have that luxury where they never part ways and they stay together. But for those who don't have that luxury, I was happy to see some of these people. Like, what the fuck? Like, I ain't seen y'all in years, bro. So even though life hit, you still find the other life in that moment. And I mean, I was just watching these motherfuckers in gym shorts playing video games and shit. I'm like, these motherfuckers, this is actually live right now. You know, they playing Marvel vs. Capcom, drinking, eating like 4
I
wings.
still owe you an ass whooping.
Yeah, we can go. But but it was fun though. That was fun to me. And it ain't got nothing to do, like I said, ain't got nothing to do with funds or anything. But sometimes life do intersect. It just intersects.
I find that ironic. Like knowing the people that we are, right? We drove so far to go hang out, and then we stay in and play the game.
Yeah.
Like, that was most of it. That was most of it.
Hey, I told my ex-wife before, man, back when she used to hate when I played games. I said, bro, this is my going out phase. Like I could be out and about having one type of time, I don't know, being in danger. But I like to fucking stay in, dog. And like it was to the point with me and my boy Gad, that's what we used to do. We used to fucking hook up, get some wings or something to drink, and go fucking play Halo or whatever game we were playing at the same time for hours. It'd be 2:00 at night. That's all we did. We didn't go out, try to pull no women. We ain't try to go out and do none of that shit. It was all about going out, just having a good time playing the game. And that's kind of like what we did, man. It was good. I beat the fuck out of fucking Visual and some Madden. You know what I'm saying? And then you know,
he had to pull that out.
He out here. He can't defend himself.
But you know, but going back to our original thing about commitment, though, in one thing that I've learned, I usually am the planner when it comes to a lot of these trips that I go on. It's like the fellas trips and shit. Like I had another squad that I chill with. And every time I plan a trip, it's always everybody's in. Okay, well, this money is due here. Nobody pays. Okay, well, the rest of the money is due here. That's why I always get insurance on any trip that I go on, because a lot of people always end up backing out. I've been to Miami by myself. I've been to Mexico by myself, because it starts off as a group. And then as time goes on, people start backing out, whatever the case may be, you know. So it's one of those things that it's a lot of shit that happens, especially life. But people don't like to speak up and say exactly what it is. They want to wait till the last minute and be like, oh, this, you know what, I ain't gonna be able to do it, big dog. Well, we've been paying for so long. The trip is already paid for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it would have been paid for if we would have just progressively do it.
At that point, that's when you got to make that choice. Like, either I'm going with you, I'm going without you. Because you know, I got this time. I finally took that time off. I got it. You know, my job set, everything set. I can't turn around and just not go.
I mean, it's too late to go back. It is way too late to go back.
And the sucky part, though,
a lot of times that's how life works. I don't think they hold off to tell you, hey, I can't make it. I think it just be that one day yesterday where they like, what the fuck happened?
Hey, listen, that's a fact, because that happened with me and Moan. That happened with me and Moan, bro. Like, I was good, and all of a sudden, like, my car broke down, and I'm like, damn, all the money I just had saved to go on this trip. Now I gotta live my everyday life. I can't live it without my vehicle, so I gotta pay for what I need in order to survive. Well, there goes a big chunk of my money, and now you back to square one, depending on how well off you are. But you know, I was a couple times where I had to go back to square one. And Stevie, you're right. You know, sometimes shit just don't go as planned, right? And that's why when we went, you know, we went with the flow. You know, I know a lot of people think sometimes you want to go and you want to go wild and have a good time, but sometimes you just gotta, you know, you go with the flow, man. I mean, we was just like you said, we was all happy to be in each other's company. You know, I know that shit sound. I know to some people that sound whack. Like y'all drove all the way to Atlanta and y'all ain't do shit but hang out and play video games. Like, yeah, but we also didn't spend thousands of dollars going to unnecessary shit. You know what I'm saying? We went out to eat. We did do our night out. You know what I'm saying? We went and ate some authentic shit from Georgia. You know what I'm saying? So, and then the main thing is we drank and we talk shit, because at the end of the day, that's what it was about.
We even had a pool and didn't get in it.
We didn't even get in that motherfucker.
It was cold.
That's true. It was cold as shit. That pool was cold as fuck. Hey, look, we got there and it was leaves in the pool.
It was a good backdrop for the pictures, though.
It was. Mo called the dude, was like, hey man, y'all need to come clean this pool. The motherfuckers came out the very next day.
Early in the
Clean that
morning.
thing out early in the morning, and we ain't touch it. We didn't even touch the pool.
You
But
know,
you
I,
know,
I want to go back to what Alex was saying. Alex was saying something about budgeting. I have a friend, and he likes to go on a lot of the trips that I plan. He's terrible with money, so
I am too.
budgeting is one of the things that I do know
Big
that
time.
can stop a lot of people from traveling because
Big
people don't know how to put the money aside a little bit, a little bit. People don't understand that you put $50 a week up in a month. Like 50 ain't shit in a week, but in a month, now you 200. Now the next four,
And you're
six. You
right.
know what I'm saying? And when you get to that point, like you can pay for all the things that you think that you can't afford when it's a lump sum. My friend, he sent me $75 a week into the trip. I had like a $750 for him, and I was able to give it to him on a trip because he was able to send it to me without spending it on dumb shit like buying
But
bottles or
that
some shit like
but
that,
that
for his
comes down to
friends.
trust too. That comes
Yeah,
down to
yeah,
trust too.
too,
Because you can
too.
set for better lack of terms a treasurer, right? Somebody that's gonna hold all
Mhm.
your bread, right?
Yeah.
But you got to be able to trust that person that they're not gonna
Mhm.
you're not gonna send them the bread. They're gonna be like, hey man, I ran up on a hard time. I had to use that real quick. You
Ooh.
can't when it comes to trips like that is kind that's why it's kind of hard. It is hard for some people, right? You send that money and you're like, damn, I kind of needed that money. But you got to keep that in your head, like you still got that money, but if it's something that you really want, and I have to give big props to the wife because she helped me out with that shit a lot. Because it was up to me, I'm like, all right, cool. It's about time for the trip. All right, I'm not gonna spend nothing on this next check. I'm gonna use this whole check. And it's like, yo, that's
Yeah.
not really smart.
That's
You know what I'm saying? Because
But
shit,
what eliminates a lot of that. A lot of people that last minute stuff and they cancel and all that. The best way to combat that is put them in a position to where they got to think about if they have to cancel up front. So, for an example, involve like I think travel agents and if somebody on the comments can tell me, but if you get somebody to sign up and say you're gonna pay this amount, make sure it's a thing where you can force them to pay travel insurance because they know that if they don't pay for the travel insurance, they ain't getting their money back.
they
But
ain't
if they
getting their
sign
money
up,
back.
they know they have to pay. That right there, you can find out if anybody's gonna be truthful or not. Shouldn't say
Mhm.
truthful. Is dedicated to paying for a long period of time going out on a trip. Because what's gonna
Yeah.
happen is they can't sit there and be like, "Oh man, like if so." Well, things happen, right? But
Mhm.
if they was BSing the whole time, they'd have paid $1,000 to the trip. They know they have to pay, otherwise I'm
Yeah.
not
Oh
getting my
yeah.
$1,000 because I didn't pay for the travel insurance. A lot of them
Mm.
don't. A lot of people who BS don't really pay for the travel insurance. They
bruh,
be
and
there and
that's
they be hyping you up. They tell you about, hey, I'm going with y'all, rolling with y'all, and be talking all this junk. And then, like y'all say, last minute they cancel. When you are forced to sign into something, when you know there's travel insurance involved, they'll usually go all the way because they don't want to lose out on all that money if they have to
Yep.
cancel.
I think that's how we
Fact.
had a successful trip the first time we went to Vegas, right? Bone went ahead and paid for the room, right? And one of the spots, and then we went ahead and paid for tickets way ahead of time, right?
Mhm.
Because like you said, if you spend your money on something and you know you can't get it back, you real obligated to go. And even when you feel like you can't go, you're like, fuck it, I'm still gonna go. You know what I'm saying? But we put things in place to make sure that the trip was gonna happen. The problem is that you still got some people that get upset, like, yo, I really need that money back. Like I'm in a
But
pinch, I'm in a
on
bind.
you, if
So the
you're dealing with a
question
company,
is
that's on you. You knew up front that
Mhm.
you know if you didn't pay for the travel insurance, you're gonna lose all this money.
so is
Mhm.
So,
that the best way to plan a trip is you get another company involved?
well, we don't have to worry about that for people that
Yeah.
deal with people like that. Yeah, I say get a company involved. If y'all want to go on a cruise, if y'all want to go hang out somewhere, find a travel agent, find something that's all inclusive, and find something where you gotta upfront pay for insurance. Because a lot of people, if they notice they ain't gonna get their money back if they cancel, then they're not gonna sign up.
You also need to also have the mindset too that you going on this trip, regardless of who
Mhm.
going, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
count
No.
on everybody else and like, I'm not going, if this person not going, if that person don't go, are you really gonna have a shitty time? Or are you really gonna find a way to have some fun? Because at the end of the day, that's what just you take a trip for.
Dude. Well,
Relax,
listen.
release, have a
Going
good
to
time.
going to Mexico by myself was probably one of the things that literally kind of changed my idea on going on trips by yourself. Literally,
Facts.
it was paid for. I
I'll
had
be right
no
back.
fucking choice. So it was like either don't go and just everything's taken care of, or go. And I'm going. You know what I'm saying? So I went, and it changed my idea. And I was literally to the point where I was like, man, fuck group trips, all that shit. But like you said, once you pay all that money in there, you're going.
No
And that was
choice.
the thing. A lot of people said,
Yeah,
true,
but you
Alex.
don't know. A lot of the times you be
Yeah,
friends with
bro.
somebody and don't know that you can trust them to pay for the trip. That's how sometimes they show their colors at the end of it. And then you be like,
Hmm.
man, I never know, fam, to be acting like that or doing this. Go ahead, Marcus, you ready to say something?
Oh no, I was just saying that was a good point, but you just kind of hit the hammer on the nail. You
Yep.
sometimes you plan this stuff with the idea that you know what, hey, it's a good idea. Yes, I'll go out, take a break, boo, 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 boo. And then once you initiate that, everybody else is on board. Everybody's like, yeah, we're gonna do it. Yeah, go, go. And then just like Ramon said, it could be that last minute where you start finding out the people who was really about it and who wasn't. And just like going back off, piggyback off of Zoe, sometimes it doesn't like it's not like they was waiting to give you bad news and say they can't go. Sometimes it just happens. It just fucking
Hmm.
happens where they just wake up one day and maybe it's a direct deposit to something they had set up and they just take all their money and they just like fuck. I'm stuck. I budget, but I didn't
Hmm.
count these bills or I didn't count this situation or I had to buy a new battery for a car. I didn't count that. I didn't count this, and they find themselves in this hole where life hit them. And but when it comes to going to places with people you trust, that's solely on who you hang with. That's solely on who you vibe with and solely on who you put your time in or trust in. Some people trust people faster than others. It takes me a minute for me to trust you. And some people feel
Hmm.
like my time is too long to trust somebody, but fuck, you never know. Shit.
Now, I do
Shit.
I wanna get y'all to weigh in on a little something, right? Now, say you plan this trip. Everybody's dedicated. They got their tickets, they got their rooms. The trip is gonna happen. How do you deal with a situation when everybody's on the trip and not everybody can do everything because their funds ain't right?
Mm-hmm.
Because to
I've
me,
been in that situation before.
that's a tough situation, man.
It is.
Because for me, when I go, especially if I'm going with all my friends and family or just people in general, I want everybody to have a good time,
Keelan.
you know. And when you don't, when everybody's not set up to do the things you want to do, you know, sometimes you tend to like, all right, well, you know what? I'll spot you this. I'll spot you
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But then that turns around and that cuts your fund down.
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to take that hit on having all the fun you want, or you go with the you shouldn't have came out here,
I look at it like, if we're all friends, we all bros, we all. I'm out. I'm going out with people that I trust in the first place, right?
right?
So the majority of the time, if that's going to be the case, then I feel it's been in my situation in which I legitimately have done that, and it has fucked up my trip because it fucked up my funds. You know what I'm saying? But then it got to the point where I started going with people that I truly trust, and we all just pitched in a little bit. And you know what I'm saying? It was like the crew was able to help out because certain people don't make what we make. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, we kind of privileged to make what we all make in here. You know what I'm saying? We make more than the average, and some people aren't at that level, which is okay. But if we are able to do that, I
Kevin,
feel
what's
like we
happening?
can all pitch in just a little bit, but they can't rely on us. That's the part that I can't
Yeah,
accept. When it's being relied or expected for it to happen, that part I'm not dealing with.
yeah. I mean, the shit's not fair, man. When you spent all this time saving your bread and getting yourself together, and you're trying to make sure you got money in your pocket so you can have the best time you want to have. And and usually I tell everybody set their own budget. You know what I'm saying? Think about where we're going, how much it's gonna cost, right? But then you get
And
there
that
and
goes with
you,
the planning too. I'm
yeah,
sorry. You know what I'm
no,
saying? I
you're
don't mean to
right.
cut
I
you off,
mean,
but
no,
it's
you're right.
like our trip with Houston. We already starting to plan what we're doing, and we're 10 months out. You know what I'm saying? 10 months out, 11 months out, whatever the case may be, and we're already planning what we're gonna do now, so that we can have that money aside to know. For Vegas, we hey, look, we're going to shoot some guns. We're going ATVing. ATVs, I got a deal for 89.99. Guns, we was like 159. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. We had that shit down to a T. Plus, what you're gonna have with your money for your food and odds and ends. that's what planning comes involved. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
I didn't
And,
mean to cut you off on that, bro.
no, you're right. You're right. And that's the other thing too, right? I want to get into what Kevin Garrett said is that, he's got friends that can't budget because they don't have the discipline, but you watch them go out, buy bottles, go do this, go do that. And then when it come down to it and they go on a trip, I ain't got no bread. Like, bro, you did a whole bunch of unnecessary shit. I watched you do it.
Mhm.
Like, I watched you do it. You tried to invite me, and I'm like, nah, I'm trying to save my bread for this trip. I don't think I should go. And you're like, I'm going to go. But then you go on the trip, and you're like, I ain't got no bread. Like, come on, man. You got a
I
lot of
just watched
self-inflicted
you
wounds with that
buy
shit.
a bottle at the club. Why you at the strip club?
Exactly. Like, bruh, like, I'm all for
Yep,
having
sure
fun in
can,
between,
Alex.
but you gotta make sure.
Groupon. I be hitting Groupon up all the time when I go
Groupon's
someplace.
nice. But to go off of what you said, though, y'all know me. I'm usually the first one. If y'all ain't got it, we got it. So if something happened, like stuff can happen, right, on the trip.
Yeah.
And I don't know, unnecessary, I mean, Ralph been through it. I never forget, he was at a dealership. Ralph looked at his account. This nigga was negative 999 million in his bank account. I thought that was the funniest in the world.
Bruh, I had never been so terrified in my life, bro. I had no clue. I'm like, somebody didn't hack my account. They just destroyed my life. They hacked my life and destroyed it. I didn't realize at the time that there were rules on pulling stuff out of your savings. If you pull it out a certain amount of time in 1 month in your savings, they block your account. Well, the bank I was with at the time, instead of just blocking my account, they put me in the negative $9 million. And I'm like, well, I tell you what, they're going to come find me. They're just going to come find me because I tell you what, I probably ain't going to ever have that to pay back. and look, that was the first thing that came to my mind. It wasn't, let me go figure out what the hell happened. It was like, shit, they're going to come find me.
I'm about to go live in Mexico.
That's just me, though. That's just me. I would, if you out there, something like that happens where your bank account got hit, or it ain't got to be that. It can be one of those things where the bank will be like, yeah, this don't look right. Shut your card down. You don't even know it. And then you out there, we out of the country, and you look at me, you know how I am. Like, all right, well, I got you. You know what I'm saying? But don't take advantage of it. But I would think that because I got you, then when we get back, I would think that you'd be like, at least offer. I don't expect nothing back. I'm not saying you owe me, but just offer. Be like, you know what, Mo, I'm gonna pay you back, and then let me say, no, I'm straight. We boys.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody can't do that with everybody.
And that's the other thing, right? And I feel like if you going with some people that you can't do that with, you probably shouldn't go.
You shouldn't go with them, yeah.
You shouldn't go with them because
I mean,
especially if you want to keep their relationship as a friend. Because when you get back, you can be salty as shit. You're like, yo, this motherfucker didn't give me shit back. Didn't say thank you. You know what? I'm done. And all that could have been avoided. You could have just not went. Yeah. Because you knew all along that that's how they are.
And then if you got problems with telling people that you don't want them to go because you don't want to hurt their feelings, go to Kroger's, get a pack of hot dogs, some milk, and some cereal. And then when they come out here and they broke, that's their meal right there. You know what I mean? I be having my lobster, my shrimp, I be eating all that shit. I'm like, hey man, poop on them Franks in the microwave, son. You all right, son? You can have fun, son.
That's fucked up. Everybody out here eating lobster.
Who thinks of that?
I got some hot dogs in the crib for you, though.
Why did that come off your head so easily, though?
Hey, because
did you do that
before? He prepared. I tell you that.
You got to always have a second plan.
You're going to see me eating my porterhouse, and you're going to be eating those Lay's chips and that hot dog.
That's it. You got them over there. But
Big Glizzy.
And it's a double-edged blade because all jokes aside, you do have them friends that are like that. They are like that, and then they don't know they like that. And then you might plan the trip and not include them, and then they turn around and be mad at you because you didn't include them in there. And you be like, nigga, look, you know you owe me $200 from the last week, nigga. Why would I include you in a trip and you ain't got the $200 you're supposed to pay me back? So you find yourself in these situations where you got certain friends. Everybody got certain friends that you date. They're never wrong. They're never wrong. They have something to say to justify what their wrong is. And sometimes we get in our places like that. So that's why you buy these cheap meals. So you can tell these motherfuckers, even if they go and you want to go have a lobster and shrimp night, you know what I mean? Soak them fingers up in that fucking butter. They can have hot dogs. They good. They can have them shits. You know,
I'll be nice enough to
That's
bring
all right.
the shrimp and lobster butter home, and you can dip your hot dog in it. Okay. That's because we boys, you know what I'm saying? I thought about you.
You got the
I thought
glizzy,
about
juicy
you.
and butter.
And then I was so nice that I left the shrimp taste in the butter. So not only do you get the hot dog, but you get the taste of seafood on top of it.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Big old box of ramen,
That was
baby.
fucking awesome.
What's up, Leisha?
What's up, Alicia?
Hey, Alicia.
Well, and let me tell you that's another one of the reason why I brought it up, right? So, Alicia, my sister, you know, she is on her way back from Cancun. You know, I don't know how long
That's
they
true,
had
man.
The
time
butter glizzy.
to prepare for the trip, but everybody that was supposed to go went because they knew they understood the assignment. You know what I'm saying? They knew what to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's just something you got to put into place when you go on these trips, man.
Yeah.
Said Ralph, I don't ever invite this dude. He
Why
gets
you
pissed
ain't
that
invite me?
I didn't invite
I'm
him.
mad. He said, "Why you?" Why you ain't
Like
invite
he'd be
me?
like, "Why you ain't invite me?" Etc. Etc. Now that he's friendly away, so saying, "Bro, you ain't consistent."
It's true. I mean, listen, we got me and Moan got a bunch of different like text message threads that we're in, right?
I
And
know.
when we get ready to go on a trip, we extend that invite to those groups, right? And usually at the end of everything, when everything comes down to it, we got about 6 or 7 people that end up going. If you add all those groups together, we probably got a total of roughly 20 to 30 people, right? So, and the crazy part is the 6 to 7 or 8 people that end up going is always the same 6. So eventually we get to the point where it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna invite these motherfuckers because I know they're gonna go. These other ones, I'm gonna just, clearly they don't want to travel, they don't want to roll. So, I just won't send out the invite. And of course, the first time you think that, they're like, yo, why you ain't send me nothing? I was ready to go. I got the bread. I'm like, bro, you've never went before. Like I sent you multiple trips and you never wanted to go. So I just figured that maybe it was me. You just didn't want to
I
roll with us.
also think a lot of issues too are people. I don't know what it is now these days of how people like, and sometimes I'm bad for it, but I feel like I should only. Yeah.
God damn, I like that.
I feel like I should
Go
only.
ahead, my bad.
Alex actually bought this for me, so big ups to the wife. So I feel like that, and I'm guilty for it sometimes, but at the same time, I still utilize it. I feel like I should only have to tell somebody one time, right? And you should write it down, you should record it, you should remember it. Because I feel like if it's important, you should remember it. We're not living in them times right now. You would tell them something, and then something would happen, and they hit you with the, why you ain't saying? I'm like, I did. It's in your text. You don't automatically delete your text message, so it's still there. And they'd be like, man, it's a month ago. You know I forgot. It's not my fault you forgot. I told you.
Hey, here's my thing, though. If you're going to be one of those people to forget, right? And you want those people to forget.
Put it in your calendar.
Or just tell me.
The forgetful one. I can
My
do
thing
that.
is tell
Damn
me.
show.
Remind me.
I use Samsung Notes. Because
we
I
use
forget
our
like a motherfucker,
I do
bro.
everything.
I
use our
kid you not.
Notes, bro.
I put my notes onto my calendar, bro, because I am forgetful with shit. So I am one of those people that will forget. Like, in fact, Moan was like, "Hey, let me know if you want to stay in the Airbnb." Okay, cool. Forgot he had already booked it, and I was like, "Damn, I forgot to tell him that I was coming." You know what I'm saying? But it's one of those things that does make a huge difference. If you're forgetful, use your resources. Get a calendar. Not sponsored.
Yeah, Airbnb. We're not sponsored by Airbnb, by the way.
Oh, okay, my bad. Go ahead. But yeah.
But you're right. You're right. I mean, like I said, I prefer somebody to tell me that they forgetful and like, hey, let me know in another month. I'd rather you tell me up front.
Yeah.
I'd rather you tell me up front than at the very end you sit there and say, well, why you ain't tell me? Well, I told you.
Motherfucker.
I told you. Well, I remember. Well, you didn't give me no indication that you needed a reminder, so that's on you. Because I'm quick to tell somebody, hey man, you're gonna tell me again. Hell, I tell people at my job, hey, remind me on Monday. And a lot of times
I don't mind the fact that they keep asking, it's irritating. Like, yeah, ain't we supposed to be going on a trip such and such this day? Then they ask you another week. And we supposed to, I'm cool with that too. But don't sit here and be like, why you ain't say nothing when I did? That's a lot of the issue. But sometimes the ones that's on some BS, utilize that to fake it, right?
Facts.
They know they're not going from the beginning,
Facts.
but they want you to tell them. You just keep reminding me, keep doing this, keep doing that. And then when it's time to go, be like, yeah, I ain't gonna be able to make it. But I appreciate you. You don't waste all that time. And now we back with the same, people that you normally go with. But I always make an effort, even if it's people that I haven't talked to in a while, I'll send a text. Text you can't just delete automatically. Even if when you get a new phone, you swap phones or you try to transfer all your data, it's still in your phone. So I try to send the extension out to everybody. And then I get it one time. Now, I'll always go beyond it and send a reminder, maybe a month or two later, but that'll be the last time you hear it. And then usually the month that we go to travel, they'd be like, well, are y'all still going on the trip? When is it? You be sitting there like, well, everything paid for. Like, I mean,
when is it?
You can
Next
go,
week?
but you got to figure it out.
Now you got to pay twice the price because you waited last minute.
Yeah.
So I did want to slide over to the next topic on the whole trip situation. And I do want to get y'all involved that are watching, shoot out some good traveling tips, because one of the ones that is really big and a lot of people forget, and then Moan brought it up and Alex just solidified it, is your debit card, man, and your bank account. Right? It's been times where I've come home to Detroit and I get to spending money, and then they lock my account out, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. I know I got bread. I say bread for this trip. And they lock me out because, it's a suspicious account activity. Somebody's spending, repeated amounts of money in Michigan, but you live in North Carolina. So we're going to cut it off for safety. And depending on when it is, if they hit on a Saturday or a Sunday, you
don't
stuck
be
to
Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday night, bro.
This happened to me when I came home for, I think it was our 15-year reunion, 10-year reunion. Came home, I'm like, bet we chilling. I'm gonna go grab a bottle. We all can go have some drinks. And I bought gas, I bought food, and then I went to the liquor store. I went to go buy one of the big baseball bats of Ciroc at the time, and them was like declined. And of course, I got some of my people where I'm like, my card worked. Hey man, look, I'm out here. I'm at the window with my account pulled up. Hey, look, man, this is what I got on my account. I know I got it. And I'm looking back like, damn, they're gonna think I'm broke as hell. And then, I'm like, I don't understand why it's not working. So I called my bank, and they was like, oh, I'm glad you called, Mr. Queen. We saw you had some suspicious accounts, some charges going on here. I'm like, oh, my bad. I'm at home. I'm visiting. I'm in Detroit. That's me. Oh,
that's me telling them shut the hell up and cut my card back on.
Give me 5 minutes, and I'll go ahead and have it back on. And sure enough, 5 minutes, I swiped and I was good. But I'm trying to tell you, there ain't nothing worse. It ain't nothing worse than seeing this pop up on the screen. Because you forgot to tell your bank you was going out of town to spend some bread. So, big thing, if you're going out of town, you plan on using your card, right? Because I don't know anybody that carries large amounts of cash like that. Make sure you call your bank. Call your bank, let them know, yo, I'm going out of the country. Because usually if you're out of the country, you got to make that phone call. It's going to cost you triple. It's going to cost you triple to go ahead and make that phone call. Then you got to make sure that they turn your shit off. So, just a little advice from your boy.
So another thing too. So I'm loving the engagement from the audience members. So we have a poll on YouTube, and it's actually a question. So far, 10 people has voted, which is really good because we want to know. The question is, can you trust your friends to travel with? So far, 80% say yes, 20% say no. So I really would like to know the no's. Why is it a no? If you're still here, put it in the chat. And why can't you trust your friends to travel with?
I like this interaction, this engagement. I like that.
So and I'm loving it. So if you guys are on Facebook, head over to our YouTube channel, and if you want to, and fill out the poll. It's live right now, so people have voted right now. Right now, a majority of yes say wins. But that's a good thing. That shows you that traveling with your friends ain't dead, right? Because a lot of people are like, yeah, I can travel with my friends. It's pretty cool. And to lead on to it, we do got something to analyze. Y'all want to hit that up real quick?
Let's go ahead.
Yeah, please. Let's go ahead.
All right. So let's take a look at this 2-minute snip, and we'll start talking about it.
Mexican authorities pursuing their case against an American suspected of killing an acquaintance at a luxury resort. They're looking to extradite the suspect to face charges. ABC's Zareen Shaw joins us with more as that woman still hasn't been named. Zareen, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Janae. A 25-year-old went down to Mexico with some friends to celebrate someone's birthday. And just one day into that vacation, she turned up dead. And now officials have another big problem on their hands. Their prime suspect is no longer in the country.
All right, so I want to cut that short because I didn't realize there was a watermark on there. So as you guys can see, I know a lot of people's heard about the friends that traveled to Mexico, and the main person that paid for everything ends up dead. And then another video surfaced about of one of the girls beating on her, and the other girl didn't want to fight back because she wasn't a fighter, and those were claimably her friends. Not only did the girl end up dead, but they all traveled back that day, and they all went and talked to the mom, lied to the mother, about she was alcohol poisoning. Then the autopsy came out showing that her spine was broken, her neck was broke, or something of that nature. And then the girl seemed like she could have been saved, but the friends told the ambulance people, no, keep her here. She could have been saved. And they kept her there because, of whatever. And then she ended up dying 50 minutes later.
Yep.
So now, what's so sad about this story, I'll use us as an example. I pay for everything. We go out. Whatever happens, we get into it. And one of y'all end up killing me. And then y'all come back and lie to everybody about what happened. What days are we living in? What type of friends are they?
Bro, they wasn't friends.
I'm pretty sure we all say that.
Those were associates that was using her for her bread, man.
Yeah, I mean,
she was very successful from my understanding. They said she got herself together. She had her own business. She had bread. And a lot of people are debating if the girl, if they were plotting on her anyway to take her money.
I guarantee you they were, bro.
It goes down to what I said before when I said I put a lot of time into meeting and trusting people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes you put yourself in the limelight where your finances put you in a place where you can probably never trust anybody because of what your finances are doing at that time. Like Ralph said from the beginning, those was not friends. Those were probably some associates she met while she was coming up. You get what I'm saying? And those associates she met while she was coming up probably plotted that from the beginning. But at the end of the day, that's what my whole intentions of the conversation was going to when I said you gotta really learn who you're around to travel with certain people, because you can't just travel with everybody, man. You can't.
That's facts. And like Stevie said, man, if those are your friends, unless you completely balling, you shouldn't have paid for everything. You know what I'm saying? They should have said, hey, man, let me go ahead and slide you some bread when I have it.
At least something. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Just saying, hey, I appreciate you for, allowing us to go on this trip with you. And I'm glad you paid for everything. Let me put something on it. And you never know. A lot of times if somebody that well off, they're like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I just want you to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do this looking to get paid. But you got to show some type of gratitude of the work that somebody put in to get you on that trip. You know what I'm saying? And for the fact that nobody paid for anything and they all flew back still on her dime. On her dime. And then lied about killing her, bro. Like, that's trash, man. That is complete trash. But like Mark said, man, you got to trust your circle, bro. I haven't been out of town with a group of people that I'm worried that if something happened to me, they're like, I'm gonna be, he'd be all right. I ain't gonna worry about it. That ain't my problem.
And I get it today. I get people ask me today, hey, you want to come out, man? We got these tickets. We're going now. I mean, you cool and all, bro, but I'm good. I'm gonna stay where I'm at. And I don't have to necessarily say, nigga, I don't trust you, or nigga, we don't vibe. I don't have to say none of that shit. All I gotta do is say, no, I'm good, bro. I'm gonna stay back. And that's just that. It's just that's all it takes. And I get, you know what I mean? All of us get invites from friends or associates that they got trips coming. It's on you and your heart to say, no, I'm good. I don't think I want. I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna stay back and just, let me know how it turns out, and watch it from a distance and see how it play out. But you don't got to go on every trip either. That goes for the person that's getting the invite. You don't have to take every trip. You don't have to go where everybody's going, especially if you don't trust them. You don't have to look at a free trip like, oh, I need a vacation anyway, and then it might be your plot.
But that's the problem, though, bro. How many people gonna say no to a free trip?
Hey, bro,
you know
I was just about to say that. So if y'all plan on offering, let me know. I got you.
Yeah, But the thing is, a lot of times when you hear free trip, you're not. I mean, if you're not being malicious, right? You're not
Thank you,
thinking
Nori.
I'm about to go there and I'm about to set somebody up. You know what I'm saying? You look at, oh, you know what? My man's hooking me up with a free trip. That's what's up, man. That's dope.
Thank you,
And
Nori.
Laura, you're right. You don't have to accept every
You
invitation,
don't
man.
have to.
But I feel like a lot of times people get in situations where they're like, oh man, I got a free trip, or this was free. This is what I needed because I ain't got the bread for this. So let me go ahead and take this gift, right? A lot of people like, when they're not sure about it, a lot of people like to turn into, you know what? This is just a gift. Somebody sending me a sign. I need to go on this trip. And then you go and this shit happen. Right. So you're right. It's kind of hard, man, because no, you don't need to accept every free trip. You don't need to accept every free invitation. Everything is not for you. But you also don't need to let your judgment be clouded by your situation for you to take advantage of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? If one of y'all sent was like, hey, we're going on a trip and I pay for everything, that's one thing, right? If one of my coworkers is like, hey man, I bought you and three of your friends a trip. For what? Oh, I just figured I'd be nice. Man, that's dope. I appreciate that. I don't think I'm gonna be able to go. Why? It's free. Yeah, it's just I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it.
I tell you what though, you to be honest with you, you know what else is free? The shipping on our sponsor. Hey guys, this portion of the podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. Get the right tools for the below the waist care with the Performance Package 4.0. Inside here you will find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, and don't forget the Manscaped Performer boxer briefs and travel bag to hold all of that ball care goodness. Wherever you go, your ball spot goes with you. Why this pack is so important to have? Well, their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and also has a 4000K LED spotlight you need to make those mythical dark abyss spaces you can't really see visible.
For your trip.
But of course, that's not all, because the Performance Package 4.0 also includes a Weed Whacker nose and ear hair
God damn
trimmer,
it.
which is also waterproof and provides proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps reduce nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate face holes. You should want to smell and hear better without an extra layer blocking those beautiful high-definition smells and sound waves. Upgrade your ear and nose game with this product. Now, let's end your ball spot with their Crop Preserver ball deodorant and Crop
Main
Reviver
event right there.
ball toner that would change the way you approach your hygiene routine. Shaving with the Weed Whacker and Lawnmower doesn't have to stop there. Reward your balls so they can thank you. Oh, and also the Shed travel bag and Manscaped boxes come free. You can't beat that. It's time to take care of yourself, so go to manscaped.com and get 20% off plus shipping with the code ANEP with our Any and Everything podcast. View our description to learn more.
Facts. Make sure you get your balls clean for your trip. Nothing like, nice ocean breeze water across naked balls. Okay. When you shave, it's just almost like you ain't got nothing on. Anyway, with that being said, man, yeah, please go check it out. Use the code, man. Holidays is coming up. I know you've been thinking about a gift to get one of your guy friends, and low key, I'm pretty sure you can use that on a lady too. Just don't use the ball spray. But just saying, you looking for something to get them, you know what I'm saying? Pick up some Manscaped, use the code ANEP to get that discount, you know what I'm saying? And save yourself some bread and get a great gift. All right. I do want to take a quick second though, real quick second. Lauren, I appreciate you coming through. I want to say congratulations to Lauren, bro. Lauren just got another promotion at her job. She out here hustling.
Hey, congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's what's up.
For the ladies taking over, podcast, this segment should be coming up soon. I just want to give a special shout out to Lauren, bro. I've seen her hustle hard since she's been here, and she is killing it. Is killing it, bro. And I mean, it speaks for itself. So big ups to one of our castmates, Lauren, for making the next move, moving on up, getting to that extra bread.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
So, I'm gonna drink to that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to, so y'all can see what's in
While
it.
y'all drinking that, Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
So next week, if I'm not mistaken, right? The ladies are taking over, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Usually we are in here with to pop in, hit some questions and help with things. I think Moan's gonna be taking over that. If not, hopefully we can get Zoe to do it next week. I have a party that I am hosting, so I will not be in attendance next week if all things go correct. Neither will Lauren, because she'll be here chilling with your boy too. You know what I'm saying? Her and the family. Make sure I send out some pictures from the holidays, man, just to give y'all a little insight on my life and the people I hang with too, outside of these fellas on their screen. With that being said, I think we're getting close to the end, man. Damn, this might be the first time we actually may end on time, which is
we
a
usually
rarity.
go over.
We
Yeah.
usually go much over, man. But like I said, with this topic, man, I know with COVID dying down, I'll never
It
say
ain't-
COVID's gone.
It ain't down now. It never really went nowhere. It's just that we have treatments, and it's just like the flu, so we're gonna live with it.
Right. Well, I'm just saying with the whole situation, man, people are starting to get out more. People are starting to travel more. And these are things that I want people to actually just think about, you know, before you plan your next trip. Make sure you're going with the right people. Make sure you have a plan. And make sure you have fun.
Planning
you know
is very important.
Yeah.
And make sure you're doing it for you, man. Don't do it just for everybody else. Do it for you too. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that this trip is not only going to be fun for everybody else, but make sure it's fun for you. Because when you go on a trip and you actually get a chance to get away, you don't get that often. For those that work in this working world and in these fields, you know, you don't get that break. So make sure you take that break the way you need to take that break. So
And I do want to add on. Not even to cut you off, but I need everybody to understand. Not everybody on your team is a fan.
They may act like it.
I need you to pay attention to this. Not everybody on your team is a fan. So when you going out there and you got your team of people and you think it's all right to invite your team somewhere with you, 9 out of 10, you're going to invite a lot of people that's not your fans. So you got to pay close attention to the people that you completely value as your friends. Do not mix them up with the people that you don't know, the associates.
Yeah.
Some people, it's easy to mix that up, probably because y'all make the same bracket. Who knows? But please, everybody on your team is not your fan. Pick who you need to have on that trip with you, not who you might want.
Man, yeah, definitely. And at this point, we should know the difference between that too.
You have to.
You know.
That's big, bro. You got to know the difference between who's an associate and who's a friend, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel like you may be if you can even remotely think that you'll be out there and end up like old girl, you shouldn't go with nobody on that trip at all. You should just go ahead and take that one as an L, which is secretly a win, because you're not gonna put yourself in a situation where you're gonna be hurt or left stranded or just any bad things coming your way while you're trying to enjoy your vacation.
Absolutely.
Next thing though, fellas, we do need to go ahead and lock down our next trip. I know we talking Houston, talking H-Town, but like Zoe said, we've got plenty of time to plan, and hopefully mid-year we'll start getting money to go ahead and put towards that trip. And when the trip comes, we go and have a damn good time. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather not do this trip with anybody than these people that's on their screen and a few other people that's in the comments. You know what I'm saying? We got a circle. We like to keep that circle tight. You know what I'm saying? With the people that we trust. And, you know, if you don't get an invite, don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I need to know if I could trust you and if you can go. And if
Hey,
you
Nori.
Oh, shit.
Can you make sure you attend, all right, Nori? It'd be really nice to see.
Mark is one of the only single guys that can say shit like that. Nori,
he didn't say nothing. He just said he wants her to come on the trip, and he wants to come with her
to the trip.
To the trip.
Oh my God.
Okay, we out.